Good evening, PPW faithful. My name is Brendan Choley, and I am the ring announcer and official spokesperson for the PPW Board of Directors. I come to you tonight with an announcement, courtesy of the board. As I'm sure you all realize, the intro video for PPW Eclipse has a major, glaring difference at the very beginning. All of our champions are present with new and updated footage, save for one, that being the PPW World's Champion, Brad Epic. Truth be told, Brad Epic has not been in contact with the board of directors since his win at PPW facing Destiny. He had informed them that he would be taking a short time away from competition, and has instead completely ghosted not only myself, but the other PPW officials as well. This is not how we conduct business in PPW, so as such, Mr. Epic's contract status with Pure Pro Wrestling is currently under deliberation. While that is underway, however, we must move forward. I am here to announce tonight that starting on the next episode of Eclipse, a World Cup tournament will take place to crown a new PPW World's Champion. 8 men from around the globe will participate in this tournament, and the finals will decide our champion in the main event of our next chapter, titled Own the Night. These 8 men are as follows. Representing Canada, the former PPW World Champion, the Avalanche, Matt Gray. Representing Japan, the junior heavyweight prodigy, Taiki. Representing Mexico, one of PPW's newest signees, Andres Castillo. Representing Australia, the first AWE World Champion, Awesome Aldo Anthony. Representing Cambodia and making their PPW return, the Crimson Dragon, Vandy Kirigaya. Representing Haiti, the current PPW Hardcore Champion, the Shuyaku, Nick Calloway. And representing the United States, the King of Aces, Sam King, and Benny Bedlam of the Wicked Syndicate. I would like to be the first to wish good luck to everyone announced for this tournament, and this will be one to remember. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome in, everybody. This is episode 6 of the second season of PPW Eclipse. My name is Brendan Choley. As always, the voice of PPW here on commentary tonight for our opening contest. And what news we just got ahead of this. A World Cup tournament to crown a new World's Champion? Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest is scheduled for one fall. Making their way to the ring first, wrestling out of Parts Uncharted. They weigh in tonight at 215 pounds. This is INCOG. Well, regardless of that World Cup tournament, we have some hard-hitting action to open us up tonight. The debuting INCOG, a man of mystery from Parts Uncharted, shows up to take on the returning Ryuuichi, formerly Ryuuichi Kawajiri. Seems to have dropped the last name and gotten a new attitude, or at least, judging by how he carried himself in the Junior Heavyweight Invitational, I would hope it's a new attitude. A change for the better would be nice, but regardless of that, we will see one-on-one action to open us up tonight. We'll have one-on-one action throughout the night. And we are going to have one heck of a show for you. And their opponent, wrestling out of Nagoya in Chubu, Japan. He weighs in tonight at 199 pounds. This is Ryuuichi. Ryuuichi, a hot young upstart, wrestling out of Chubu, Japan. Originated his training in the Southern Spirit Dojo, trained by the likes of Derek Weaver, Ryan Alexander, Hirokazu Matsumoto. Now seems to have taken his talents elsewhere, and it shows with this flashy new presentation he seems to have gotten for himself. It'll be interesting to see if all of this pays off. He had I believe a 1-1 record in the Junior Invitational. winning out against, I believe, Elliot Benjamin, but losing in the next round to Ori Khan. But now he is back here in PPW, ready to dazzle and amaze, as well as get some more victories under his belt. As you see the match starting off with a few strikes. Here is INCOG very quickly taking control of the situation. Hangs Ryuuichi up on the ropes. And already, look, trying to manipulate the limbs of Ryuuichi, locking him up in that Paradise Lock. Nowhere to go. And INCOG's, oh, gonna take it to him with a kick. Well, it's where the sun don't shine, that's for sure. As he lifts Ryuuichi up and plants him down with that sit-out side slam for a 2 count. Both of these wrestlers have something to prove here tonight. Both of these wrestlers looking for some momentum. And this would be a great way to start out for either of them. As Ryuuichi really nails him with the forearm in the corner. Into an alley-oop, sit-out powerbomb. Nicely executed by the rookie, Ryuuichi. But now INCOG trying to take control once more, targeting that leg. That dragon screw seemed pretty vicious, but Ryuuichi not gonna stay down for long. Of course, the head scissor and the elbow straight to the top of the head. As these two are jockeying for position right now, neck and neck against one another. Look at that cartwheel forearm, pulling him out. And now back into the corner for another cartwheel forearm. Just playing with Ryuuichi right now. And oh my god! Plants him with that springboard inverted poison rana. Or rather, inverted hurricane rana. Oh, and he just throws all of his body weight down onto Ryuuichi with that flipping senton off the second rope into the cover. And just a 2 count. INCOG taking Ryuuichi into the corner here. Tried for something, didn't quite get all of it, but he's going to continue on the assault. Nice hip toss executed by the luchador. And then a double booted drop kick right into the face. Off the ropes and again nails Ryuuichi with that poison rana. Putting the rookie through the motions, through the ringer. But Ryuuichi, ever the resilient soul, continues on against INCOG with the pop-up, reaching out for nothing as he plants him with that German suplex. And yet another kick out. Ryuuichi trying to roll perhaps to the apron to recover, but INCOG staying right on him. Ooh, Ryuuichi plants him with his front flip over. Oh my goodness! Lariat! Slingshot lariat right to the face, but INCOG with the wherewithal to kick out. And now lifts him up and drops him. Samoan driver, fireman's carry driver, whatever you want to call it. That was almost it. I thought for sure it was going to be the end. But INCOG back on his feet, springing up. Ryuuichi going to continue to put the hurt on him, lay in the punishment. Now, climbing to the very top. And they look to fly here with a a flying diving missile dropkick. All the way down. INCOG, ever since that slingshot lariat, hasn't really been able to get his footing back in this match. Let's see if Ryuuichi has his number, or if this is just a momentary setback for this mysterious luchador. As he now rolls to the outside, Ryuuichi going to follow after him here. And again, targeting the head. Doing everything in his power to to keep INCOG grounded, groggy, unable to fight back. It's a good strategy for the young upstart as he shows off for the crowd. Picking up INCOG once again. Some heavy strikes and a knee right to the face. Drops INCOG, and now Ryuuichi to the top once more with a frog splash. Brings down all of his weight, all 190 pounds on INCOG, and no. The luchador managing to kick out once more, but I think Ryuichi's looking to put this one away. Up on the shoulders once more, and he plants him with that fireman's carry driver, and that is it. Dominant victory for young Ryuuichi. A well-deserved victory for Ryuuichi. Likely the first of many in a PPW ring. There's a bright future, I'm sure. Showing off a little bit of the footwork. You know, saying he's still got a lot left in the tank, and it seems that somebody is watching from a distance here, perhaps scouting talent. Maybe scouting out his first opponent, whoever that may be. But we move on here to our second match of the night, which is sure to be one hell of a hard hitter. Your next contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring first, hailing from Kobe, Japan. He weighs in tonight at 300 pounds. This is Norio Kuroda. Norio Kuroda, longtime PPW talent, former Olympian, former rugby player, 300 pounds of nothing but muscle. He's probably one of the most cut guys on the roster. Has had his chances before, faced the likes of Ryan Alexander for the international heavyweight title, has had some successes and some losses in other companies, but tonight he looks to take on perhaps one of the biggest names in PPW at the current time. That, of course, being none other than the King of Aces, Sam King. King coming out fired up as ever. I'm sure he would be very excited.
Wrestling out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. He weighs in tonight at 252 pounds. The King of Aces, Sam King.
I'm sure he would be very excited, as anyone would be after that announcement. To start out our show, he will be taking part in a PPW World Cup tournament. And this is sort of a make or break situation for King here, especially after, the hell that he went through in that War Games match at Warzone. Sam King, not 100%, or I would at least assume not, taking on Norio Kuroda with such a big challenge up ahead, not only tonight, but, starting next episode. If Norio Kuroda can manage to, put the hurt on Sam King, maybe even get a win over Sam King, that would definitely call into question the lineup for the tournament. So if I'm Sam King, personally, I would want to make sure that does not happen. I'm sure it goes without saying, you never want to lose a match, but this is a big one for Sam King, and a bigger one for Norio. You can see the abs, the ribs taped up. Surely product of recovery from that cage match. You can see Norio starting out as only Norio can, showing off that absolute power that he holds the muscle and a little bit of disrespect to the King of Aces there as he shoots off the ropes. Oh, but a King able to avoid that elbow drop. Kuroda able to avoid the drop kick. Back and forth so far, but look at the strength of the former Olympian. Just beating Sam King down. You know, that's the one bad thing about taping yourself up like King has done. It plants a giant target right where you don't want to be targeted. And Norio, I'm sure, is going to use that to his full advantage. But we see Sam King here now taking control once more. Looking for a neck breaker perhaps. And no, just a forearm right in the back of the head. Into the neck. Into the cover. But Norio Kuroda, ever strong, kicks out at one. Sam King looking to go back to the well again. And Norio made sure to get out of there. Now with the advantage over King. Oh, or at least he had it for a time. Sam King, again! Repeated forearms to the back of the neck and the head. And now looking to exhibit some strength. Oh my goodness. Dropping Kuroda. King now sends Kuroda into the barricade. And head first. You know, despite them being padded, oh my. Despite them being padded, that is still quite the hard surface to get your face slammed off of. Sam King continuing on the assault. There you saw that cravat and neck breaker. King gonna look to follow it up. Targeting the arm. It's a smart strategy from the King of Aces. You know, expert technician that he is, to always be targeting a body part, making sure that you're inhibiting an opponent's ability. And what a way to target the back. An elbow drop off the top. But Kuroda, oh my god! Flinging himself. Oh! Flinging his body at Sam King. And King kicks out at one. Really showing off how much this match means to him is King as well as Kuroda. There's you saw him flinging Sam King around like he was nothing. Ducks the line. And Sam King gets dropped with a back body drop. Up and into the spine buster. That could very well be it. After a sequence like that, I wouldn't blame him. But Sam King managing to kick out. Kuroda might have been looking for something big there, but King wasn't going to let him have it. And he plants him with a spine buster of his own. The SK spine buster, putting the spine on the pine. But Norio kicks out. They're going to follow it up. Oh, perhaps with the King's landing, but Kuroda has other plans. Dropping King, ribs first. Down onto the knee. Oh, but he needs to watch himself, because the King of Aces just shot in with an uppercut into a, I don't even know what to call that. Some sort of side effect. The match is once again in Sam King's favor, as he is looking to fly here. Off the top. Oh! High fly flow from the top rope to the floor onto the back of Norio Kuroda. Exhibiting strength that I didn't even know if he had. Then by picking him up into that powerbomb. Sam King going all out against Norio Kuroda here. Quickly breaking the count. Norio dazed and confused, but able to regather himself. And gonna get payback on King. Turnabout is fair play when it comes to the barricade. Sending King spine first into that barricade with the Russian leg sweep. Now able to catch King as he gets into the ring. Up into that gorilla press, and again dropping the King of Aces onto the mat. And look at this. Right as Sam King got up, Norio shot in and grabbed that ankle to put him in the Kuroda lock. And Sam King doesn't have a lot of places to go. But a smart maneuver there to roll out while he could. Sending Norio flying. Kuroda into the corner. Goes Sam King. A nice counter by the King of Aces. And look at this. Set up the one-hook power bomb. Title driver. Lands flush. And that's it. A desperation impulse from the King of Aces to break out such a move and put Norio away before he got too hurt. What a win ahead of the start of the World Cup tournament for Sam King, as he goes in and looks to become the new PPW World's Champion. We're taken backstage here. There you can see it now. The man that was watching Ryuuichi seems to have been that new signee, Andres Castillo. Seems like he might want to cut some sort of deal with Ryuuichi. And Ryuuichi, whatever that deal may have been, seems to have accepted. I don't know much about what's going on there, but it'll be interesting to see, if that comes into play ahead of the World Cup tournament that Castillo will be taking part of. But now we move forward to the open challenge for the international title.
Your next contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is Ryan Alexander's International Heavyweight Championship Open Challenge. Making his way to the ring first, wrestling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He weighs in tonight at 245 pounds, and he is the International Heavyweight Champion, the Heavy Artillery, Ryan Alexander.
Ryan Alexander has been International Heavyweight Champion for something to the tune of 700 plus days after having won it a few years ago, I believe on Christmas night, or very close, a few days after actually. And now he looks to defend it once again in an open challenge match. Will he be able to hold on to that title that he has held so close for so long? I'm not sure I know this music. Oh!
And his opponent, wrestling out of Kabukicho in Tokyo, Japan. He weighs in tonight at 265 pounds, the Scarlet Emperor, Ryosuke Amano.
The Scarlet Emperor, former member of the New Era Board of Directors, or Championship Committee. New Era wrestling legend, former heavyweight champion, I believe a few times over, has made his return to the ring here in PPW to challenge for the international title. Looking to come back and immediately win a bit of gold, it seems, is Ryosuke, but he has, no short task ahead of him as he takes on the man that's been holding that title, like I said, for something to the tune of 700 plus days. Alexander eyeing up the title for what could be the last time as he hands it off to our referee. Referee making sure everything's good. Ryosuke Amano seems to be ready for action. And we have got ourselves an international title match. Both men are ready, and we're about to get this underway. Ryan rushing in, but you see the veteran instinct of Amano to cover up, block that shot, and immediately he's on the offensive. as he takes on the champion, the younger Ryan Alexander. Amano has all of the experience going into this. And he is already showing off quite a bit of dominance as he takes it to the heavy artillery. Up for the suplex. Look at Alexander able to get out of there. And he just lays the arm right across the back of the head with that NZ lariat. One of many that Amano will have to watch out for if he wants to make it out of this match alive. Oh! Picking him up and slamming him. Scoop power slam. And Alexander is not going to let up here as he lifts Amano up into that pop-up Saito suplex. Continuing on the assault. As he now sets Amano against the ropes. And going to use the entire ring, every part to his advantage there. You saw him hanging Amano up over the top. Ryan Alexander, no stranger to utilizing, perhaps a little bit less than clean tactics in his matches there. As Amano going right after him, but Ryan takes off and drops Amano with the double axe handle before Amano could capitalize on pulling him off that top rope. But Amano quickly takes him down with a neck breaker. Once again trying to assume control in this match. Targeting the arms of Ryan Alexander. It's a smart strategy to keep yourself safe from stuff like the Holy Lariat. Oh! Face first. Now stomping away at the champion. Washing the boot across the face of Alexander. And a running boot scrape brings Alexander down. It seems to have opened up quite the nasty cut on his forehead as well. So early on into this match, and he just sends Ryan to the outside. Every little bit of offense that Ryosuke Amano is getting in this match could bring him that much closer to being the new international heavyweight champion. And he drops the knee across Ryan's forehead. Gonna target that cut surely now as he brings him down and locks in a crossface on the outside. No tapping out here. This is just to punish Ryan Alexander. But Ryan able to roll him through. And a kick to the gut. Ryan Alexander, sends Amano into the steps. Like I said before, using every bit of the ring to his advantage. And yes, no stranger to the cheap, less than clean tactics. Look at Ryan gonna fly. Oh my god! Might have undershot just a little bit there. Not quite on target. And Amano is going to take advantage of that mistake that Ryan made. Planting him with that neck breaker. Ryan Alexander is in trouble now. As Ryosuke Amano tries to get up on the apron, but Ryan knocks him off. Ring awareness, and now this time I guess gonna let him get up, but seems, maybe he might have already done the damage. Argentine rack drops him down onto the mat, just throwing him. But Amano able to kick out. These two have been at each other's throats so far. Ryan looking to do some damage here, stalling him out. Oh, and he just plants him with a brainbuster. But Amano able to catch Ryan by surprise into the small package, or the inside cradle rather. And Ryan gonna shoot off with a clothesline, springboarding himself to slow things down once again. It seems the case has been that Amano is trying to wrestle this match at his pace. And that means keeping Ryan Alexander grounded for as long as possible to open him up for all kinds of different moves. And Ryan absolutely does not want to let that happen, that is for sure. As he shoots Amano off. A collision there, Amano using all of that body weight to push off of Ryan Alexander. I don't know what he's going for here. Amano with the counter, though. With a forearm right in the back. The lower lumbar must be screaming right now, especially after that fall to the floor. His entire body is sure to be in pain. And Amano back to targeting the arms. But he might not want to look away too soon. Catches Ryan as he gets up and plants him back down with that knee lift. It might take about a minor miracle for Ryan to walk out of here as champion at this rate. Alexander with the counter. Oh! Made Amano think. Told him he was going one way, pulled him another. Oh, and Amano brings him down. Back in control once more. Up on the shoulder now, look at this. Dropping Alexander right on that turnbuckle with the snake eyes. And back into the corner. Now look at this. Has him in the tree of woe. And going after the ribs. The midsection of Ryan with those knees. Vicious knees. Right into the gut. Amano knows exactly what he is doing by targeting that area. And now slowing things down, like I said, once again, as he locks in that Indian Deathlock. Into the cover, might have worn him out enough to cinch the victory. But not quite. Alexander still has a little bit of fight left in him. Kipping up. And capturing Amano into the pile driver. He's winding up. But Amano drops him with the butterfly suplex. A little bit too quick for Ryan to react. As you can see, Ryuuichi has also had quite the cut opened up on his face. Right by his eye. Probably from that pile driver. Or something similar. Desperate to slow this down to his pace once more. Ryan Alexander doing whatever it takes to not let that happen. Trying to blast him with an elbow there. Alexander has other plans, which include dropping Amano right on his neck on the outside from that German suplex. Oh, and Ryan shoots in. Landing that forearm right in the face. But he might want to not lose his attention of Amano just yet. Yosuke Amano now. Punches to the gut. Oh, what to the jaw. Alexander not going to let that go unchecked, I'm sure. As he lifts Amano up and down with the neck breaker. Transition from the vertical suplex. Nicely executed by the International Heavyweight Champion, but a one count kick out, I should say. Has Ryan unable to believe it. Oh, but the drop kick right into the back of the head. Might quiet Amano down a little bit. Looking to lay the law down on the veteran. These two neck and neck, like I said. What will it take? Beautiful vertical suplex there. What will it take to put either of these two away? You know, Ryan's got something in mind here. I think I might know what it is. Shoots off the ropes for the holy lariat. Amano is down. He might be out. Not many people are able to kick out of the holy lariat. But Amano does just that. And he is getting up on his feet. Alexander sends him off. And just drops him with a knee right into the stomach. What does Alexander have planned here? Gonna look to fly with an elbow right into the solar plexus. And Amano slowly getting up, and again, Alexander targeting the head of Ryusuke Amano. Firing away.
at the Scarlet Emperor. Using everything in his arsenal against such a crafty opponent like Ryosuke Amano. Wants to fly once more. This time Amano up to his feet, and Ryan gets caught! Tried for a flying clothesline, I believe. Got caught with a power slam. Ball is back in Amano's court as he plants Ryan Alexander with that belly-to-belly suplex. Into the cover, and Alexander forces his way out. Amano not going to give Alexander time to breathe here. He wants to make sure he can keep Ryan down. As he grabs him right by the head, and now wrenching at the neck. Sending pain all the way down that spine. Look at this, a little bit of perhaps coming unglued a little bit here, Amano, as he slams the head of Alexander off of the mat and brings him down once again for that crossface. Ryan Alexander in a bad way here. Amano has it locked in deep, and Alexander is struggling here to get himself free. But he manages just barely to break out. Ryosuke Amano had him scouted. Look at that. Caught him right before he could land that punch. And a back elbow sends the champion down. Ryosuke Amano now all over the champion. And returning the favor from earlier, choking him on that top rope. Saying, anything you can do, I can certainly do better. As he drops him with that Manhattan drop. And Amano may be looking for the end here. As he picks up Ryan. Going after the head, but no! A nice sweep of the leg by Ryan Alexander there. As he catches Amano. Oh, crossing the leg over. Oh, and right on the knee. Patella drop brainbuster. And Ryan Alexander just barely managing to retain his international heavyweight title. By the skin of his teeth, Ryan Alexander remains champion. Not even wanting to give the ref time to walk over and hand it to him. He took that, snatched it from him. Still your undisputed international heavyweight champion of the Cooperative. I believe now we are going to go back to Andrew Steele.
Calm yourselves, peasants. Your fearless leader has something to say. I'm gonna make this quick because I've got a training session to get to. Quinn Fletcher's match against that creep Matt Gray at Warzone was an absolute disgrace. It was a disgrace to my name and the reputation of my faction. But there's no need to worry, because Quinn and I are working night and day to rectify that loss.
and he is becoming even more dangerous than before. But let's get to the real reason why I brought this cameraman out to my personal gym. It isn't just because I'm such a gracious host, no. I'm here to announce that due to Matt Gray stalking and harassing me over an issue that he cannot let go, I have had no choice but to obtain a restraining order against Matt Gray for my own safety and the safety of my faction. Matt Gray is not to come within 100 yards of me under threat of legal action. And this also renders that so-called guaranteed match he earned from beating my student within an inch of his life null and void. This was a tough decision, but I had to make it to protect myself. Due to this, I will also be taking a leave of absence from PPW programming while I mentally recover from the trauma that Matt Gray has caused me. But worry not, my devoted fans. The Foundry will still appear regularly on your screens, just unfortunately without their fearless leader for a time. And to make up for this, I would like to announce that very soon, the Foundry will welcome a member never before seen in PPW. And if I were you, Gray, I'd watch my back. You never know who might be out to get you.
What? A restraining order? Wait a minute. I'm getting some news that something's happening in the back. JJ Strife! At least I think that's who that is. That's definitely Benny Bedlam. That is JJ Strife. He's got Benny Bedlam. He managed to, isolate Benny Bedlam, and he's choking him out backstage. JJ Strife has had his problems with the Wicked Syndicate in the past, and it seems to have boiled over after that loss at Warzone. He's just attacked Benny Bedlam, and he threw him into the freight trailer. What in the hell is going on? Wait a minute. You can't be serious. JJ Strife just closed the door on the freight trailer. Benny Bedlam is trapped inside of that trailer. What in the hell is going on? First we've got, people attacking each other backstage. We've got restraining orders now. PPW is all over the place.
Your next contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, first, accompanied by Satomi Yoshida. She hails from Little Rock, Arkansas, and she represents death or submission. She is the brutal truth, Millie Morales.
Restraining orders aside and backstage attacks aside, we do have to move on, as big of a task as that might be, into our first of two women's matches of the night. I'm still not sure I'm over getting locked in a freight trailer. That'll be an interesting development, I guess, to the World Cup tournament. I mean, what is going to happen? Is Benny... I don't know where that trailer's headed, or if Benny's going to be able to get out of there before it goes, but if he can't, then I'd hope for the best for him, that he is able to get back in time for his match. There's no time to, really dwell on it now. Like I said, women's action in a Clash of the Titans.
And her opponent, wrestling from the land of the rising sun, she is TAKAHIRO.
TAKAHIRO has had quite the history in PPW, quite the short history, but quite the history nonetheless. Being, aligning herself with the likes of
Kinzy, Pittman, and the Astral Angels. Tonight she looks to take on yet another hefty challenge as she faces the brutal truth, Millie Morales, the muscle of death or submission. Millie Morales, of course, flanked by Satomi Yoshida, as if things couldn't get any worse for TAKAHIRO. But TAKAHIRO, a strong, a tough customer, a tough nut to crack for sure. This is going to be one heck of a match, surely. She is not going to go down without a fight. We're underway here, and TAKAHIRO immediately grounding Morales with that short arm clothesline and a leg drop right across the chest. Millie Morales is not one to be trifled with, of course. Her time in death or submission has seen mixed results, but make no mistake, Morales, a former world champion, has seen much success in many different companies. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before things start to really ramp up for her here as well. And a win over TAKAHIRO would be, quite the way to start out something like that, if that were to be the case. As TAKAHIRO heads up to the top, could be looking to fly here with a Swanton Bomb, but no. And Morales just throwing herself down onto TAKAHIRO, landing on the legs, and deciding that's the game plan. Going right after the knees. Morales using all of that, all of her weight. Oh, for a second time down across the chest of TAKAHIRO. The brutal truth. No stranger to victory, no stranger to, being in charge in matches, but this is a whole different kind of beast that she's facing as TAKAHIRO really targeting the back. And like I said earlier, TAKAHIRO going to want to keep an eye on Satomi as well. Death or submission have proven quite the faction. All started with Satomi attacking Kiyomi Hoshino. Oh my god! I was about to say, mention the attack on Kiyomi Hoshino that started death or submission, but TAKAHIRO flying over the top rope with that corkscrew tope. As Morales takes some time out of the ring. Now Morales back in control as she hangs TAKAHIRO up on those ropes. Stun gun from the shoulder, but no. Just a 2 count is all that's going to get her. Like I was saying earlier, death or submission started with a bang by Satomi Yoshida attacking Kiyomi Hoshino and costing her a chance at the PPW Women's title, which even though she would eventually come to hold, it would not be first without having to deal with the leader, Tomo Bushida. Millie Morales now really getting into the groove of things as she plants TAKAHIRO right down. Morales in control, could be looking for Millie, and she drops her with it. That could be it right there. Has put away opponents in the past, but it's not going to put away TAKAHIRO. At least not yet. She's going to stay on the offensive. TAKAHIRO, nicely executed jawbreaker there to turn things back around, and she's got her double arms hooked into the face buster. That could be it. TAKAHIRO for the big win over Morales, and no. The PPW Women's Division in full effect in this match. With a Swanton Bomb from TAKAHIRO right across the chest and the stomach of Millie Morales. But look at this. Satomi seems to have distracted TAKAHIRO. And TAKAHIRO felt that shot in the back from Millie Morales, turned around and showed her what for. Turning the tables on the brutal truth there. And once again, targeting the midsection. Back and front. Right the spine. Morales back up to her feet already. Satomi looking into the ring. Oh my god! Huge lariat there from Millie Morales. I was almost distracted by that chair for a second that I didn't see it, but I managed to catch her as she turned Takahiro inside out, and now back in control after that headbutt. Takahiro on her feet, though, sending Millie off the ropes, and again just flinging her, tossing her around like she weighs nothing. And again, Satomi has her distracted, and Morales takes advantage by once again returning to those legs to target. Morales now has Takahiro. Could be looking for the pyre. And she drops her with the pyre. Has put away many opponents in the past. But Takahiro, ever the resilient fighter. Not going to be done with Takahiro just yet. Just lifting her up and throwing her down with that powerbomb, modified powerbomb, into a flying senton from Morales. But look at Takahiro escaping to the apron before Morales can capitalize. Gonna perhaps put a wrench in the plans of Millie Morales. Maybe not a very big one there, as you saw Morales bring her right back in, but now Takahiro getting into the groove of things. Morales off the ropes, gets dropped with the back body drop. And then up and down with that huge spine buster from the wrestler from the land of the rising sun, but Morales kicking out at 2. Satomi Yoshida jaw-jacking with Takahiro yet again. And yet again, she is not paying any mind to an attempt by Millie Morales at catching her off guard, returning the favor, turnabout fair play with that lariat. Takahiro shoots Morales into the corner. Morales has other plans as she sends Takahiro. Big clothesline. And follows it up with a right hand. Right into the jaw with a running start. That could have been a knockout shot right there. But Takahiro kicks out. Either of these women, I'm sure, would be really up there on the list of contenders for the women's title. And I'm sure this match would do wonders for their standing. Takahiro lifting Morales up to the top rope. What has she got planned here? Oh my. Double underhook into the face buster off the top rope. Satomi trying to get the attention of Takahiro. And that might have given Morales enough of an opening to where she could power the shoulder up from under Takahiro. And, just gets sent to the floor. Morales is going to need to do some serious work to get back in control of this match. Takahiro flies down from the top rope. She is fired up here. Nothing's going to break her stride now. Morales catches her, and a takedown, an STO of sorts. Trying desperately to turn things around in this one-on-one contest. And she sends Takahiro into the steps. Up at a count of 6 now. Of course, 20 counts enforced here in PPW. So these two have quite a bit of time before they're going to need to return to the ring, and Morales seems to be using it all to her advantage as she tosses Takahiro around. Has her pinned now. What is... And again! Just 2 forearms right to the back of the head of Takahiro, bouncing it off of that floor. Sends her careening into the floor. And Millie Morales going to break the count now, perhaps wanting a decisive victory over Takahiro. Lifting her up again and down with that insane height from that modified powerbomb. That is definitely going to do a number on the spine of Takahiro. as well as that. She is in trouble here now as Morales seems to have finally gotten things on her side. And once again breaks the count. She hoists her up. Oh, wait a minute. TAKAHIRO with the counter. And now back to the attack on Millie Morales. Double axe handles right into the spine. It's going to make trying to lift up TAKAHIRO a lot harder than it already is. Into the ring we go here. And oh, she faked Morales out and caught her with a lariat in the back of the head. That might be enough. No! Morales able to kick out. But TAKAHIRO seems to want to put this one away. Morales caught her. Wait a minute. Got her up. For the pyre. Caught TAKAHIRO off guard. Was not expecting that kind of speed. And that might have cost her. Millie Morales gets the victory. What a win for the brutal truth. TAKAHIRO gave it her all, but it seemed that quite a few factors like the numbers game just simply had the deck stacked too high against her. And wait a minute. I do know that music. That is Gianna Fiore, who has been at least associating herself alongside Death or Submission for a bit now, and Satomi Yoshida very quick to exit the ring and tell her off. A word with Gianna, and Gianna's gonna turn around and head to the back. It seemed like maybe Fiore might have been coming down to celebrate with Death or Submission, but I don't know if Death or Submission feels the same way about her. Well, regardless, we move forward to our second women's match of the night, the semi-main event. Val Kitagawa returns to PPW to take on the women's champion in a non-title match. Kitagawa versus Pittman. Here we have the Wandering Wolf.
Your next contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring first, hailing from the world unsundered, this is the Wandering Wolf, Val Kitagawa. Val Kitagawa has a short list in the history of PPW. She's had a few matches here and there. I'm not sure any of them have ever been any victory for her, unfortunately, but she does look to turn that around, and what a victory it would be if she can manage to get one over on the PPW Women's Champion here tonight in this non-title contest. Surely would put her in contention for a title if that a title shot if that's the case. But make no mistake, Kinzy Pittman is not about to let Val Kitagawa walk all over her. This will be one heck of a match. And these two, I'm sure, are going to take one another to the limit as we await the arrival of the PPW Women's Champion. And her opponent, wrestling out of South Park, Colorado. She is the PPW Women's Champion, the adorkable Kinzy Pittman. Kinzy Pittman finally able to win the big one at Warzone as she defeated Kiyomi Hoshino for the women's title. What a victory it was after what felt like an eternity of her chasing after the women's title, getting sidetracked one time or another by numerous factors on her ascent to the top. Very notably against, someone like Lilith Hollowmore, who just seemed to have it out for Pittman. Now Pittman sits at the top of the mountain, and she's gonna, I would hope, try to hold on to that women's title for as long as she possibly can. We start our match off here. Kinzy Pittman in control. Big spinning leg lariat by the women's champion. Kitagawa already struggling in this match, but gonna quickly take it to the champion to turn things around. Big knee drop right across the chest. Oh, and tried for another, but Pittman rolled out of the way. Some sort of split leg drop. And Kinzy Pittman showing off a bit of agility there with that standing Spanish fly into the cover, but only a 2 count. This victory could mean everything for Val Kitagawa if she can manage to upset the women's champion, as well as calling into question, maybe not the skill, but the status, what percent Kinzy's at after that match against Kiyomi. Those two really did a number on one another. So it wouldn't be out of the question to say that Pittman might not be totally recovered from that match. As you see another standing Spanish fly into the cover. Could look to win, and this time, Val is only going to give her 1 for it. Pittman in control of the kick there. Ducks the slap. Trying to wrestle circles around the Wandering Wolf. As she heads up to the middle rope, looks to fly and lands right across the back with that splash, but Val wasting no time in tripping the leg of the women's champion and bringing Kinzy Pittman down. Now that short arm clothesline takes her down, and Kinzy able to kick out. And now look at, oh my, just biting at the head. Using all those wolf-like tendencies to maximum effect there. I don't know if she was trying to, maybe bust the champion open, but whatever it was, it seemed to be effective, at least for that short time before Pittman got back in control. And now Kinzy sends Val to the floor. Oh, just takes her out. Kitagawa tried, flinging herself at Kinzy, but Kinzy seemed to have had it scouted to some effect. Gonna break the count on her way to take out Val, but Kitagawa had other plans. And now gonna send Kinzy near the timekeeper's area. Oh my god! A stomp! And I think Kinzy might have caught the lip of that chair on her way down. I'm not sure the ref totally saw what happened as she gets sent into the table and then into the barricade there, but Kinzy Pittman definitely reeling after that one. You can see the fatigue starting to set in even so early in this match after a big hit like that. Taking a little too much time to vamp here, and Kitagawa gonna use it against her as she just plants that foot right in the back of the head of Kinzy Pittman with that Pele kick. Kinzy Pittman sending Kitagawa back into the ring. Taking some time to herself to walk, take the long way around and recover from that stomp into the chair. And again, Val gonna use that Pele kick to ground the women's champion. Kinzy tried for, I believe, a lightning spiral, but Val Kitagawa had it countered. Pittman now back in control.
And gonna go after the leg of the Wandering Wolf. Brings Val down now into that Fujiwara armbar. And a nice counter by Kitagawa to get out of it. Steele avoids the kick. Oh, and brings Kinzy down with that leaping flatliner. Kinzy tried to avoid something else, but Kitagawa back in control with another devastating Pele kick. Has to be careful not to show off too much and let Kinzy take advantage of that opening like she did right there. But Val Kitagawa now in a bad way as Kinzy plants her with another standing Spanish fly. Into a fisherman suplex. Nicely executed by the champion. Pittman really seems to have hit her groove here. Could be looking to put Val away with the pitfall. Beautifully executed by the champion, but Val barely able to get the shoulder up in time. Kitagawa staying alive in this match. A drop down. And once more, really targeting the head here. Didn't even give Kinzy the chance to go down fully before she forced away into the cover. But Pittman beginning to know, I guess, when to brace for that move as Val lands that leg drop right across the chest. And again. Kitagawa is now punishing the women's champion. Ripcord into a knee strike. Kinzy now needs to recover as quickly as possible. Val almost toying with the women's champion here. Taking every chance she can to show how much she has improved since her last outing in PPW. Had that guillotine locked in, that might have been it, but unfortunately Kinzy's foot did manage to catch the rope and stay under, so the referee was forced to make her break it. Now Kinzy back in control, and she lands the kid's knee out of nowhere into the cover. That might have been it, but no. Val Kitagawa has enough in the tank to kick out. Kinzy Pittman staying on the assault here. She's been wrestling something close to a perfect match so far, save for the copious amounts of head trauma that Val seems to have put her through. I would hope that it seems to just be slowing her down and not stopping her completely as she lands another Spanish fly. Kinzy Pittman looking to fly here to the very top for the frog splash. No! Kitagawa able to roll out of the way, and now up on the shoulders and plants her. Pittman's in a bad way, but she kicks out. What will it take to put away the women's champion? Val has to be wondering that, I'm sure. As she begins gnawing at the fingers, anything to deal damage to the champion. Kinzy counters. A wayward shot into the jaw, and now has her set up again for the pitfall. Was that enough to put away Val Kitagawa? And it was. Kinzy Pittman ekes out the victory. And the women's champion stands tall after what was surely a hard match and a hard-fought victory. What a win for the women's champion, Kinzy Pittman. And the crowd is loving every little bit of it. Wait a minute. That's Laura Hunt. Laura Hunt! Laura Hunt has just showed up and attacked the women's champion, my God! the other half of the Apex with Kitagawa. Laura Hunt has arrived in PPW and has immediately set her crosshair on the women's champion. No, has her set up, oh my god. She can't be thinking the pounce, oh my god! Nearly sent Kinzy flying out of the ring. Kitagawa in the ring to stand tall with her tag partner, Laura Hunt. The Apex is here, and they have made a statement by laying out the women's champion. But we must move on to our final match of the night to crown our first PPW Heritage Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your main event of the evening, which is scheduled for one fall and is for the PPW Heritage Championship. Making his way to the ring, first, wrestling out of Everett, Washington. He weighs in tonight at 190 pounds. This is the Cascade Coyote, Will Vintage.
Will Vintage has had a tumultuous history in PPW, made his debut in a match for the junior heavyweight title against first and current champion Yuma Yoshida, where he was just barely unable to win. And after the advent of the uprising in the last season, Will Vintage, despite being on the winning team, I believe he said was the only one, or at least one of the only ones, to not win his match, and it seems to have had quite the effect on him as he's adopted this new, tougher, uncaring personality. The Cascade Coyote. Ever since then, he has been on a warpath. And he looks to continue that warpath here tonight by becoming the first Heritage Champion. But of course, first, he has to go through Ryu Takatsu.
Accept these consequences for my actions, when all I did was what the world told me I should do anything for my dreams. For me, I knew the cost of my dreams, aka you, will be you.
And his opponent, wrestling out of Tokyo, Japan. He weighs in tonight at 190 pounds. This is Jiraiya Ryu Takatsu.
Ryu Takatsu made it very clear in his interactions with Vintage leading up to this match. He would be showing a side of himself that he had never had to pull out, or at least not very often had he had to pull it out before. But that just goes to show exactly how much this means, not only to him, but to Will Vintage, as they are willing to put everything on the line and even completely reinvent themselves in the quest to become the Heritage Champion. Now Ryu Takatsu, calling himself Jiraiya, makes his way down to the ring in what might be the biggest match of his PPW career.
He hopes to become the inaugural Heritage Champion and perhaps lead PPW into a new era of talent. The young upstart has only had a handful of matches in PPW, but most recently, the one to pay attention to was a victory in the triple threat match to decide Will Vintage's opponent for this title at Warzone, where he was able to outsmart Drake Dresden and out-wrestle Bob Parks to earn him this opportunity. And now, Jiraiya stands across the ring from Will Vintage in your main event of Episode 6 of PPW Eclipse Season 2. Finally arrived. The Heritage Champion is on. Championship is on the line, and it will go to one of these two men at the end of tonight. What will it take to put one another away to become the PPW Heritage Champion? The bell has rung, and your main event is underway. Vintage very quickly into the offense here. Quick butterfly suplex, wanted to put it away. Maybe not even in hopes of putting it away, but just to disrespect Ryu Takatsu. And Takatsu is not going to take that lightly there, as you saw him plant that knee right into the arm of Will Vintage. Fish drop there by Takatsu. Ever the unpredictable style that Ryu Takatsu has whenever he steps in between those ropes. It is going to be a challenge, surely, for Vintage to be able to get one over and out wrestle Ryu Takatsu here in the Mind Games. As you saw, that near fall from the frog splash, Takatsu wasting no time in pulling out the big moves. Dropped Will Vintage with that uppercut, but Vintage right back up to his feet. Ryu Takatsu going to make sure he doesn't stay up for long. Will Vintage fighting his way out, though. The Cascade Coyote. Resilient. Hard-hitting, tenacious, as you saw him plant that dropkick into the corner, and another one right into the face of Takatsu. But Ryu, sends him face first into the mat. Might have tried to catch him on the ropes on the way down with that inverted Russian leg sweep. This might not even be the game of just beating Will Vintage for the 3 count. This might be the game of exuding such dominance over Vintage that it puts him out. And the crowd is involved as ever for this one. Drop kick by Takatsu sends Vintage down. And another one nearly sending Will Vintage out of the ring from the force. Ryu Takatsu currently toying with the Cascade Coyote. Vintage tried for that drop kick, but Takatsu just barely managing to cover up in time to where it only made him stumble. But now Will Vintage in control, planting the forearm, that elbow, right into the neck and jaw of Ryu Takatsu. Able to avoid another, and now, oh my God, the strength of Jiraiya as he lifted Vintage up for that German suplex. And returning the favor with the assault to the neck, this time with a knee. As he ducks under, I believe Vintage might have attempted something on the rebound, but not quite any luck. Oh! Takatsu plants the knee once again, this time into the face of Will Vintage. And the atomic drop. Will Vintage now trying to mount an offense. Big rolling elbow there from the Cascade Coyotes. He shoots Takatsu off and catches him with that calf kick. Now gonna look to fly. Tope over the top corkscrew. And showing yet more disrespect to his opponent there. We saw him wiping his feet. Oh! And returning the favor for that German suplex earlier, this time on that unforgiving floor. That padding very thin. It is not going to give you a lot of leeway. Hip toss again and again. That knee right into the jaw, right into the nose. Takatsu beating down on Will Vintage. Every chance that he gets. I'm sure these two are going to spend quite a bit of time assaulting one another on the outside of the ring. Vintage sent face first into the table there. 20 count as always. Vintage able to stop himself before he hit the apron. And now dropping Takatsu right over his knee. And a bicycle kick. Will Vintage now getting into the groove of things, starting to pick up the pace for as long as Takatsu will let him. Oh! Heavy forearm once again into the neck and jaw area. Gonna have to start paying attention to the count now, these two, as we get up towards the 20. It's gonna be a close one. Count of 18 here. The question is, what might happen if Takatsu can win this from a countout? Oh, wants to make sure that that doesn't happen. Wants to be a definitive victor in this match. And Vintage, that did give him enough time to get the upper hand, but Takatsu not going to let him have it for long, catching him on the way back in. Ducking through, might have thought Vintage was going for something, and instead, Vintage avoids the knee, and for just a second had that astral projection Koji clutch locked in before he was forced to break it, thanks to the ropes. Into the cover, thinks he might have stunned him, but Takatsu just barely reaching the ropes in time. Catching Vintage on the way back around. I think Will might have been going for that solar flare vertebreaker, but Vintage in trouble. Takatsu, I think, locked in some sort of mandible claw. Will Vintage fighting out, shooting him off the ropes. And a roundhouse kick right to the chest of Jiraiya. Will Vintage, no! Thought he was able to secure it with that roundhouse, but not quite. And now mocking at Jiraiya before finally landing a kick straight into the midsection, I believe. And now has him up and plants him down. Solar flare. This could be enough to crown a new champion, and no. Oh, but he catches Takatsu as Takatsu tried rushing him and flings him into the corner. Vintage now staying firmly in control of this match. And Takatsu is now going to have to fight to get back to even ground here with the Cascade Coyote. Takatsu dropping down yet again, laying more punches right into the face of Will Vintage. Just all over the Cascade Coyote right now. And this time, Vintage finally has it scouted, rolls him around, and he's going to give him a couple of receipts. Vintage has Takatsu up, laying in the strikes. Hard hits from the North Star, the Cascade Coyote. And Takatsu made him pay for perhaps not taking that a little more seriously by absolutely planting him with that Tiger Suplex. Vintage kicks him off, but he's going to need to stay on Takatsu. Both men tried something at the same time, barely avoiding one another. And he just sent him into the referee! Vintage sparing no expense. You saw him just throw Takatsu right into the referee. And a move that I would definitely class as a little less than clean. Which is kind of what Vintage has been coming to be known for here ever since facing Destiny, when he decided to look after himself a little bit more. Now you see on the outside, Vintage got sent out, but very quickly turning things around as he plants Takatsu in that 2-for-1 attack. Vintage does not want to spend too much more time out here. And almost daring Ryu Takatsu to get back into the ring. Pacing impatiently. Takatsu going to oblige. Surely he's thought of something though to counter Will Vintage's assault, but it gets quashed by that calf kick and then a roundhouse upwards right into the face. Sends Ryu Takatsu reeling. Now Vintage with the drop kick right into the chest, and another one this time into the head. Will Vintage has Takatsu right where he wants him with a stiff knee, dazing Takatsu to the top, and he lands twice as bright. Shooting star press from Will Vintage, and Will Vintage is the first Heritage Champion. What a victory for the Cascade Coyote, a hard-fought battle, but at the very end, he stands tall as your first PPW Heritage Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Brendan Choley. Thank you for watching PPW. Good night.